Oh, hello there. I didn't know you were there, or I would have come sooner. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this. This is a little more complicated video. I'm looking at my laptop. I've got a bunch of open panels, so I'll be going back and forth between this view and showing you what's on my screen. I got a cool thing here I'll get into in a little bit. Okay, so let's get into this. This is my update. What do I want to say? What do I want to say? This is the 1 month update. So 1 month recap, let's look at my journal. Journal, you say? Why, yes, I keep a journal. I call it the diary concussion. And let's scroll back up here to when I first was at CogFX. So I went there. Here you can see Sunday, March 2nd is when I landed. I started treatment on March 3rd. And I'll actually give you a little more backstory here. The columns that I have open here are, I have the day, date, exercise that I did that day, if I did any like physical exercise, notes on like how that day went. And then this one can kind of be ignored because I haven't worked in so long that it doesn't matter. So anyway, scrolling through here, you can see the phase of time that I was at Cognitive FX. So I was there for 2 weeks. And I wrote too many symptoms to list, because normally that's what I put in these notes. And then also too many victories to detail. So a lot of good things, a lot of rough days, a good mix. And then when I got home, by the time I got home on March 15th, this is like literally what all of my days felt like. Home from CogFX and truly feeling 90 to 99% symptom free. And honestly, it was really like 99% symptom free. And it was nuts. And it was like the best thing ever. And that's not all in past tense, even though I'm making it sound like that. Here's one notable difference though. So I'll just leave it on the screen so you can read it there. But basically, I had to go to get some timesheet paperwork stuff settled at Trader Joe's because that was the last place I worked before I had to quit and totally focus on my recovery. Also, I don't know if you've ever been to a Trader Joe's, but like, it is the most brightly lit business in existence, I'm convinced, except for Target and Walmart. But the thing with Target and Walmart is the lights are like 30 feet above your heads. And at Trader Joe's, every single freezer case, refrigerator case has extremely bright lights. And so when you're a staff person there and you're working with your head inside these cabinets, the strip of light, the LED light is right there and it's staring you in the eyes and it's super intense. And so I did not last very long at Trader Joe's. So I went back in there after having not been in there for many months, and I had to wait for like 30 minutes as like the management tried to figure out how to print out this timesheet paperwork for me. Oh, and also you can read there and my paperwork for the demand letter. So I have to show as part of my insurance settlement that I did indeed lose a job because of my impairment. So there's that. And that's also why I'm keeping this journal, to keep track of all the symptoms from day one. So what happened is when I first got there, like in the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is cool. These lights aren't bothering me at all. After like 15 minutes, I was like, I'm feeling a little something. And then after like 20 minutes, I went out to my car and I got my blue light blocker glasses on and I came back in. And after 30 minutes total of being there, by the time I left, like my head was hurting, my eyes were hurting, my tinnitus was going off. And I was like, wow, even with how good I had been doing, I don't know, I guess my conclusion is there are some lighting scenarios that I'm just probably never going to be comfortable in, and that's okay with me. Within about 10 minutes of being out of that environment, it all just dissipated and went away again. So to recap, feeling really good since I got home. Also, you might have noticed there's nothing in the exercise column. Why is that? So that brings me to this book. This book they send everyone home with. It is results and recommendations. And in here, they give you all your findings, etc., how you did. But then you come to a tab in here which says that. And I can't read backwards. I couldn't read backwards before my concussion. What is that? Creating your post-care plan. So basically, what happens when you come home is you're supposed to get this notebook and do a whole bunch of stuff in it. And you might see right there in the top line, how long do I wait before I start doing stuff? And so I was told when I come home, don't do any physical exercise for 2 weeks, okay? So that's what I did. I came home and I didn't really do any exercise for 2 weeks. Maybe some short strolls in the evenings, but that was it. Okay. Then, after I'd been home, a little over 2 weeks, I actually waited almost 3 weeks, because honestly, I was feeling so great. I was worried that if I started exercising, I might start having more symptoms. So I waited a little bit. And also I was just feeling so good that like, I was just like, can't I just live normal? I don't want to go back into the whole, I got to get treatment. I have to like work on this, because like, I'm doing so good. Well, anyway, so I started here, and I've highlighted this one. So I started follow-up using, so I call it the routine or the protocol. So I basically looked in this book, and this book had some stuff in it, because I was like, okay, I'm finally starting this. So what do I need to know? So I looked in this book, and it had home exercise program, and it had a lot of things written on there. And you'll notice it says prepare, activate, recover. That's something you'll hear a lot. Basically everything they do is based upon prepare, activate, recover, PAR. So I looked at this and I was like, here's my exact impression. It says prepare 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm looking at all these things on this list and I'm just like, well, that's not going to take me 5 to 10 minutes. That's going to take me a lot longer than 5 to 10 minutes. And then it has all these other exercises in activate. And I'm just like, wait, am I supposed to do all of these things? I don't understand. What am I supposed to be doing here? And then it does have handy things that are more self-explanatory, like a Saccades chart. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then it has some other charts that I've already put on my wall over there. But I was just like, I'm flipping through this, and then I see this thing, brain games, and a list of like 50 games. And I'm just like, well, what am I supposed to do? I don't understand. And pretty much the main direction that I got from there was like, go home, rest for 2 weeks, and then start the at-home protocol. I really thought this would be more self-explanatory. I'm just going to be blunt. And so here I'm going to give you a peek into MedBridge. Oh, darn. Okay, so here's MedBridge. So I signed into MedBridge for my first time, and this is exactly what I saw. I went to this page, and I was like, okay, to do, because I've been told, do your MedBridge. And so I come in here, and I'm like, okay, 3 exercises times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 24 exercises. And so right away I was just like, what? Okay, so I've got these things in the book. I've got the things in MedBridge. Some of them seem similar, but like, which one am I supposed to do? And honestly, I didn't know, and I didn't know who to ask. And so then I was like, okay, what's on the home page? So I come over to home. So some of the things that are on the activity page, like warm-up star lunges, you go to home, and then there's a video. So here's the thing, is when you get home, MedBridge is going to have exercises that they have picked out for you for the parts of your brain that still need help the most. So not everyone is going to have the exact same exercises. Star lunges just happens to be one of mine. So over here on the side, there's a little bit of extra notes over here that they wrote for me. So I find this very useful in terms of the detail per exercise. And if you click this, there's like a little video, and it'll show you what to do. 8-point star on your right foot is pointing forward. So that's all about star lunges. But the thing is, it's like, so I'm scrolling through all these, and I'm just like, wait, 2 to 3 times daily? I'm like, wait, 2 to 3 times a day? Huh, okay. And then there's a neurosensory warm-up, joint techniques. And so I'm just looking at these, and I'm just like, am I supposed to do all of this? And I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I'm not trying to find fault with CogFX. They do so many things, miraculous things, in my opinion. But I will just admit that between the exercises that are in here and looking at MedBridge, I had absolutely no idea what to do. And basically what I did is I looked at starting some of the things in here because some of them were familiar to me. And I checked out this log activity button. So let's check this out, log activity. So in log activity, it's gonna say, okay, here's a date. You're supposed to select which exercises you would like to mark as complete. All right, so I'm looking at all of these again and I was just like, holy crap, I'm supposed to do all of these? Like, and I'm still super confused. And then down here, you can click, how many did you do? And then again, there's this thing in here. So you can indicate I skipped this or how many reps you did. And I just look at this and my brain just turns to Teflon, not because of the concussion, but just, I'm just like, this feels hard to figure out. It feels complicated. And I get that MedBridge is actually a software app that lots of companies use, but I was just like, I hate this. I'm not using this. There's no way I'm using this. So I've never logged anything. Instead, what I did is I went and I created my own thing, and I call it CogFX at Home. I love spreadsheets, so Charlie makes a spreadsheet. So I started on April 6th, and basically I just started adding things in here that make sense to me. If you've been to CogFX, you know what neurosensory warm-up is. That's the whole, I call it the body mapping, like neuro mapping exercise. You like basically pat down your whole body so your brain is connecting with like all the joints and the surface of your skin. The joint technique, that's when you're going through all your joints. You got your leg stretches. These are all the things we do at CogFX before we do the cardio. And so then at cardio, so that's the prepare. This is still part of the prepare. So I take a kettlebell and I'll show you, I'll make other videos showing these things in detail, but you do a cycle where you do these cardio intervals where you raise your heart rate really fast and then you let it, and then you stop. And then you just let your heart rate completely come back down again. And it releases neurotrophins and all sorts of happy stuff to your brain that's going to help your brain, I guess, like neuroplasticity and doing what brain should do. So then after your prepare phase, then you get to activate. So basically, I chose these exercises. I chose the pencil push-ups, where you do a pencil back and forth, Saccades chart, VOR chart, or the balance chart, I call it, my near-far vision chart. And so basically, I wrote in the exercises that I'm going to do, the category that they're in, duration if applicable. I type in the results. It's either just completed or how many times, like for the Saccades chart, it lasts for 1 minute. I'm supposed to hold a ball in my right hand while I'm doing it to activate a different part of my brain to make it work, make my brain network more. And then I mark how many times I made it through the chart, okay? And then the letter combo that I stopped on after 2 times through the chart. And then like here, the VOR chart. First time I did it, I felt a bit off-centered, and during and after, like I felt unsteady on my feet. Like another time down here, pencil push-ups, I noticed pain in the eyes, and actually I forgot to type in here on the very first day. Where are we at here? Pencil push-ups. Oh, that's why, because I forgot to do pencil. Oh, there we go, pencil push-ups. It hurt. It hurt. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in there. Oh, damn it. Of course it's gonna happen. If you guys weren't watching me, I would be able to type this perfectly because you're watching. Anyway, so that was frustrating for me, is that the first time I did these exercises, it hurt. Like my eyes hurt. And I was like, damn, I don't want my eyes to hurt. I want to be like I've been for the last 3 weeks. I want to be on like a big puffy pink cloud floating in Neverland. So it was disappointing for me, to be honest. But I will say that as I started these exercises, the same time I started these exercises, let's go back to my diary concussion, I also see, here's CogFX at Home, and then we look over here, I also started working out. So let me show you what I mean by working out. So here's a video of me doing what I think is a lot of fun for working out. I like to hike holding a 25-pound kettlebell. I hold it directly over my head sometimes. Peace. Sometimes I carry it down at my sides, and I usually like to walk for about a mile with a 25-pound kettlebell. Sometimes I like to do two 25-pound kettlebells, but I haven't worked my way back up to that yet. Okay, and look at this. Here's a video of me riding my bike. All right, this is gonna sound like a commercial for CogFX, but I swear it's not. Before I went there, when I rode my bike, which I stopped riding because of this, after my injury, I couldn't tell where my hands were from here down, or my legs from here down when I was on my bike coasting. I had no, what they call body mapping. My awareness was completely gone. And after 2 weeks there, I do. This is my first time back on my bike. Wow. It's amazing to be able to tell where your hands and feet are in space. It's a good feeling. I have not been on my bike, I think, since basically October of 2024. This is my first time back on my bike, thanks to the work I did at CogFX and thanks to the help they gave me. So my point is that I started CogFX at the same time that I started doing a lot more intense physical things that you can see over here in this column. So, I mean, I started doing heavyweight sled pulls at the gym, playing racquetball, doing hill workouts, like I started trail running again. Like I'm pretty much doing workouts almost every day, though I did skip a few days here. And what I noticed, all I can say is that I started getting symptomatic again. Okay, well, actually, one thing I want to say is going through one of these days of CogFX at home, not one of these days, if you go through a full circuit, it takes me 42 minutes to do a whole circuit. And so, as you can see, these are a lot fewer activities than is listed in this book and on MedBridge. I'm just sort of cherry picking some of these exercises that I feel comfortable doing, but even just those few takes me 42 minutes. And so, again, it's something that CogFX definitely has to improve upon. I think that they should have a point of contact person. They should have someone you can call and say, hey, coach, help me out. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Can you help me prepare a schedule? And again, there might be some resources back in here that help prepare with that. Like I saw some stuff about scheduling back in here, like this. But like, I just found this very not useful. Sorry, I held it up completely wrong. So it's like this. And I don't know, I just look at it and I'm just like, what do you really mean? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. So I just find it very confusing and not helpful. So that's why I created my own. But I still wish there was someone there that could help. And I'm hoping that that's a direction that CogFX decides to go in. So right now my approach is just anything is better than nothing. And I'm doing things that I know helped me when I was at the clinic, and now I'm just doing them at home. I do hope to add different things to this, but to try to just get things locked in and keep it simple, I've just kept things pretty much the same every single day. And then again, keeping track of the symptoms. There have been times when I've done these exercises where I've had a mild headache for a couple hours, and then I do the PAR, the prepare, activate, rest, and the headache completely goes away and stays gone for the rest of the day. I guess, what I want to say, and I sort of got distracted there, is my main point is this, that coming home from CogFX, they should have more support. I think they should actually give you a written up routine so you know exactly what to do every day for like 3 months. I think that'd be very helpful. There should be a point of contact person, but also speaking to my symptoms. Just what I want to say for people who might be like, wait a minute, You're telling me you were home feeling amazing for 3 weeks and then you started to have symptoms again. Like, isn't that crushingly disappointing? It is disappointing. However, like, I'm looking for a prop I can use, but there are no props handy. I would just say, well, sure, I'll use this. I would say that if my symptoms before I went to CogFX were this entire piece of paper, like the headaches, the eye pain, the light sensitivity, the amount I experience now is maybe that little triangle right there. I mean, it is so infinitesimal. I mean, it can be a little bit annoying, but compared to the, I would say, suffering that I was experiencing before and the isolation and the need to constantly rest. Yes, I wrote this down, but I didn't see it when I scanned through it. So I used to nap every single day. Hold on. Sorry, someone was calling. I used to nap every single day. Every day for 8 months I napped. It's almost 9 months. Yeah, 8 months. Since March 15th, I have napped 3 days. That is insane. It is insane to me. I've only napped 3 times. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. The other thing I want to say about symptoms is if we go back to that kettlebell video. So if you look at this, what do you notice about it? Keep in mind that one of the main symptoms I had was photophobia, sunlight exposure. I would only walk at night, and even when I walked at night, I would wear sunglasses at night before I went to CogFX. So check out this, if you check this out, I am not wearing a baseball hat. I am not wearing sunglasses. The sun is in kind of like the golden hour of the day. It's coming in at a pretty direct angle, and I'm not exaggerating. I wanted that sunlight. My eyes liked it, and it was amazing. So yeah, sometimes I have a little bit of a headache, but like, I'm living a fully functional life. I'm working like 7 to 8 hours a day, like focused on trying to do real estate career, trying to do other things. I'm able to like think about and make this more complex video, with all these moving parts I'm gonna have to edit together. Like, it's just a whole different life, and sometimes it's still very surreal that the 2 weeks there made such a profound difference. So I guess in a way it's like a reality check that, yeah, it's not all fixed, but still it's so much better than it was. I just can't even express it. So anyway, that is my 1 month plus check-in. Just wanted people to know what things are like. I'm not going to apologize because it's 23 minutes long, because there's so much important stuff to talk about. Next videos coming up are going to be, I'll be showing you the actual different exercises that I'm doing and how I do them. And I'll probably be choosing some new exercises to incorporate. And I'm excited to get into those because I am kind of getting, I'm so used to this thing that I've been doing. I'm looking forward to doing different things and working different parts of my brain. So that's everything.